After auditing more than 50 Klaviyo accounts and helping generate over $23 million in attributed client revenue in the last 12 months, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Claude to create high converting e-commerce emails step by step so you can copy the entire process for your own brand. Because if you're like most 7, 8, or 9-figure D2C brands, you're probably opening Claude, pasting in a product description, and asking it to write a sales email. And then it gives you the same generic AI slop it gives everybody else. That happens because Claude has no customer research or any idea how your email should actually be structured. We've used this exact system for one of our clients and rebuilt the entire lifecycle system around stronger automations, direct mail, and loyalty. This helped them double the repeat purchase rate and monthly revenue tripled in under a year. So I'll show you exactly how to build your Claude project, analyze your existing winners, find better angles, generate the email, and run a final conversion audit before anything goes live. And by the end, you'll have a repeatable system for creating emails that sound like your brand and are built for conversion. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is create a Claude project. So just go into Claude, click on this new project button, and everything that we do from here is going to live within this one project. So Claude has all the context it needs to create great emails. And the first thing you want to do is upload or paste in all of this information. So a detailed brand overview, the company's mission or the founder story, product description, your customer profile, their goals and pain points, as well as FAQs. And then you want to use this exact prompt. You want to tell Claude to act as a senior D2C retention strategist and e-commerce email copywriter. Read every file inside this project before responding. Build a detailed internal brand brief containing the ideal customer, their primary goals, their strongest pain points, their most common objections, the brand's unique mechanism and differentiators, the current offer set, and the available proof and credibility, their brand voice and sentence style, words and phrases the brand should avoid, the strongest emotional buying triggers, the main reason somebody would delay purchasing, and any information that is missing or cannot be verified. And we just want to use this to get some context and get that internal brand brief to get started. So we also want to tell Claude to not write an email yet. Do not write an email. Do not invent claims, testimonials, studies, numbers, or product benefits. Ask me to verify anything that is not supported by the project files. So this is going to make sure Claude doesn't hallucinate or doesn't make anything up. We want to make sure it's going off of exclusively any information that you give it. Next, we want Claude to analyze any existing winners before generating new ideas. So we're going to use Claude to identify any patterns within your historical email campaigns and start with those proven ideas. So you probably already have a couple outliers, and we're going to start off with those. So we're going to upload campaign performance data. So we want to include all of this. So the campaign name, dated audience, subject lines and format, offered revenue, and click rate and placed order rate. And we're going to do that using this exact prompt. Analyze the attached e-commerce campaign data, rank the campaigns by revenue per recipient and placed order rate. Do not just judge success by open rate. So we're not going to use any vanity metrics. We're only going off of actual revenue generated. We want Claude to identify the angles that repeatedly generated the most revenue, the offers that performed best, the products that appeared most often in winning campaigns, whether graphic or text-based emails performed better, whether education, social proof, product, community, or sales content performed best, any patterns in subject lines and preview text, any campaigns that should be repeated or reskinned, any campaigns that underperformed, and the likely reason for that underperformance so we know what didn't work and why that didn't work so we don't repeat those mistakes. Then we want Claude to separate any distinct observations from hypotheses. Do not claim correlation when the data only shows, do not claim causation when the data only shows correlation. Finish with a ranked list of the 5 highest impact ideas we should test next. And then once we have Claude analyzing all of those winners, we're going to move on to angles. So this is probably the most important part of this whole process. The angle is ultimately what's going to decide if your email does well or not. So we're going to ask Claude for strategic angles before asking for any copy. That should be the lens through which the information in the email campaign is presented. So we're going to paste in this exact prompt. Using only the verified information inside this project, generate 10 distinct angles from email about, then paste your product name, whatever audience you're targeting, the email's objective, the main objection, and the desired action. So typically the desired action is get an order. And we want to create angles across these categories. So contrarian, problem aware, emotional, education, social proof, product mechanism, comparison, founder story, identity, and offer led. For each angle, Claude's going to provide a hero headline of no more than 6 words. the curiosity gap it creates, the customer belief it challenges or reinforces, the verified proof required to support it, and the best email format for it. We want Claude to score every single angle from 1 to 10 for emotional relevance, specificity, credibility, and distinctiveness. Do not use generic phrases such as unlike your potential, elevate your routine, game changing, or we're excited to announce. So this is how we're gonna avoid any AI slops so your customers can't tell it was generated by AI. Then another very important thing is only pick one of these angles. Do not combine 2 or 3 or 5 decent angles into one email. The best emails are always focused on one angle, one benefit, one feature, one reason why somebody should buy that product. We don't want to have a confused email, otherwise we're just gonna overwhelm and confuse the audience. Next is we're gonna generate the first draft. So there's 2 prompts here. One is for a graphic email and one is for a plain text email. So typically we recommend a ratio of approximately 2 to 3 graphic emails for every plain text email. And we're gonna use for a graphic email this exact prompt. Now write a first draft from the approved brief. This is a graphic based e-commerce email with minimal copy. And the requirements are 1 clear takeaway, a hero headline of 4 to 6 words, supporting subheadline of 1 sentence, a CTA visible above the fold, short skimmable sections, no paragraph longer than 3 lines, 2 to 3 CTA opportunities, specific language instead of abstractions, 1 verified claim, natural spoken language, no corporate vocabulary, no M- overuse, and no AI slop phrases, so no unlock, elevate, journey, enthusiasts, crafted for, or we're excited. The subject line should be 2 to 5 words. Use title case and create curiosity without explaining the entire email. The preview text should build on that subject line without repeating it and should end with an open loop. So this is how we're going to maximize open rates. Then after that, we want Claude to output the draft section by section so it can be placed directly into a Figma brief for a designer. Now for a text-based email. So write a plain text e-commerce email from a founder or a team member. I recommend having 2 to 4 personas to rotate between. And then you're going to input the audience, objective of the email, the angle you're going with, any proof to support that angle, and a CTA. And we want Claude to use this exact structure. A personal opening, so something like, hey, this is founder from brand name, 1 focused argument or story for that email, 1 clear CTA, a short closing, and a PS containing a second CTA or another strong reason to act. So this email should feel like it was written by a real person to 1 customer. It should use short sentences and contractions. Do not imitate a motivational speaker. Do not use any generic AI language. Keep every claim grounded in the uploaded brand material. So this section is going to make sure there's no AI slop and it sounds like a real email from the founder to a friend. Super personal, and these emails absolutely crush it. Next, we want to create A/B tests for this campaign. So we want to create variants that test big strategic differences, not some tiny variable like colors or some meaningless variables. We want high leverage tests. So these are 5 of the tests that we run at our agency: contrarian versus benefit led, education versus social proof, graphics versus social proof, product led versus category led, and discount versus gift. So we're going to use this exact prompt. Create 3 meaningfully different variants of this email. Variant A should lead with education, B should lead with social proof, and C should lead with a contrarian angle. And we want Claude to keep everything else the same. So keep the audience, product offer, send time, and primary CTA constant. So the angle is the main and only variable. Explain the hypothesis behind each version and what customer belief it is designed to influence. Do not make cosmetic changes and label them strategic tests. So we want to have a high leverage test, testing out different angles to see what your audience responds best to. And just to give you an example of an email that we use Claude for. There's one email that we generated largely using this exact framework. So this is for Clyde Haven, and they're selling these $78 boxer briefs. And they're great boxers, but they're pretty expensive. So using Claude, we created this angle of you don't need to spend $6,000 on TRT. And you could use these boxers to protect you from EMF radiation. And for just $78, you can block 99% of that radiation before it reaches your groin. And that should protect your testosterone just as well as $6,000 of TRT. So this is an amazing angle. This worked really well for the brand. And this is generated largely with Claude. This is just to show you the power of using AI for email marketing. So now you know exactly how to use Claude to create high converting e-commerce emails, from building the brand project and analyzing past winners to generating the brief, editing the copy, and creating meaningful A/B tests. But actually implementing this across all your campaigns, flows, SMS, and subscription journeys is a difference between brands that will stay stuck with no backend system that produces predictable sales. That's exactly what we do at Avanta Marketing. We build and manage the entire retention system for established e-commerce brands, including Klaviyo, Lifecycle, A/B testing, SMS, and your subscription program. So if your brand is doing at least $50,000 a month, click the first link in the description and book a call to see if we're a fit. Peace.